Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
It's Waffle Box time.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It's
Gets
gross.
the people going.
You know what old Jack Burton always says at a time like this?
My crotch is itchy.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
What would you do if you had $1 million?
Two chicks at the same time, man.
Just thank the Lord she didn't live to see her son as a mermaid.
You killed a hooker!
Call girl!
No, Cyril, when they're dead, they're just hookers.
This time we are sure she's a woman, right?
Why do you want to listen to the TV with the stereo on?
Because I like to party.
Let's do this!
Ooh, welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. On this week's episode, we have the naughty movie pass getting investigated by the FTC. Some really dumb world records being broken recently. And also, we're going to talk about Ryan Reynolds starring in Ryan Reynolds Part 9 as Ryan Reynolds. My name is Mike Fish, and I'm joined, as always, by the one and only Kush Hayes. Kush, how you doing, buddy?
What's good, y'all? Mike, how you doing today, buddy? Can't believe it's only been a week since I saw you, and maybe you talked about it in the notes there. Movie Pass is up to some shenanigans, and maybe we should have talked about it last week, but I felt like it was a little too fresh, maybe in the news, or maybe we just missed it while we were recording. Having said that, were you a member of the Movie Pass?
No, I didn't go to movies enough, but
okay.
So I mean, before we get into all that, what have you been up to in the last week? Like, any exciting adventures to Dear Diary about?
I was a guest on Barely Functioning Gamers Twitch channel last night. I went all the way out to their location. Again, going to public events. This is new again, so it was exciting. They locked me in a booth for an hour where I played a horror game about a couple Japanese teenage girls with some cell phones and a TikTok account that are exploring a haunted hotel. And then they recorded my reactions. That's a game.
Interesting. Where is that on Twitch? How do people find that?
Barely Functioning Gamers Twitch TV. You'll have to do the math on that one.
It's a great
but they're very nice. We had a good time. I stuck it out for the whole 4 hours. They each hour they switched a game and someone else would go into the booth. So it's fun to just put the cans on and just listen to their reactions. Some folks got a little scared at these video games. I apparently no-sold the shit out of a lot of it though. So that's available on Twitch TV somewhere. Barely Functioning Gamers, and yeah, good times.
This is why they invite you on, because you're so good at promoting their channel. I don't know. Just Google it. I don't know.
It's twitch.tv and then Barely Functioning Gamers. What more math do we need to do? There's a slash in there, I'm sure. There's a couple slashes.
But how? So they've got was it someone's house, or was it like, have they got like a full setup of like a location?
They got a little studio set up in the basement. It's really really cool looking. Nice red curtain behind them. Very comfy couch. Couple chairs. It's a little tight space, but it's packed with the equipment they need to do this show. And then so there are wires flying all up and down the ceiling, and lots of booze. But,
that's a dream. That's a dream. That's why eventually I want to have that kind of setup where I'm not sitting in my office that I do my work from home in. I want to have like where I look good on a couch, just chilling out, talking, rather than this whole kerfuffle. But how was it going out and meeting people in face to face?
It was cool. They were very inviting, very welcome. I know a couple of folks on the show. That's why they invited me. They do a film festival also. They half of their talent on the BFG is the Overlook Theater podcast. They've been guests on my show, The Microdose, multiple times in the past. Like I said, film festival, the Unnamed Found Footage Festival, which I totally botched that name, but Unnamed Footage Festival. Yeah. They did their first online event this year where they went. The intention was to go 24 hours straight, but it ended up going like 30 plus hours of just POV documentary, fake documentary footage, again, paranormal activity, stuff like that. So,
Well, I think we've definitely learned that if we ever need to go out and promote this podcast, then I'm not sending you.
Oh, well, if I have notes, if you prep some notes, Mike, I get the job done.
Yeah, I co-host a podcast every Wednesday. It's called Wiffle Ball or something. I don't know.
Waffle bat.
Something like that.
I enjoy coming on the waffle bat pad.
Because now things are changing for the better, apparently. I don't know if you saw this. Today, Governor Cuomo of New York announced that, hey, COVID's finished. All the restrictions have been lifted. Over 70% of New York State have been vaccinated. So, hey, go nuts. Go back to your lives.
Okay.
I'm just hoping, cautiously optimistic, but I'm just hoping this is going to be one of those like George Bush mission accomplished moments in time.
I think what you're gonna see is a lot of maskless people in the streets, but when it comes to going to like a Target or the bodega, I think you're still going to see a policy in effect saying please wear your mask inside. And there have been a few occasions now where I'm just like, yeah, maybe this is just a thing we should get used to. I was at the grocery store the other day, and I don't know if I told you this or not, but there's a woman there, mid-50s, early 60s. I don't know what happened to her mask, but she's doing this bullshit. Yeah, and she's got like a guilty look on her face, like she's not trying to be sneaky, but she's just trying to get her shit done and doesn't know where her mask went, and it's quite embarrassing. Just like, I know you're not trying to cause any trouble, but like be confident about this decision you made. You could have just gone back home, got your mask again, but now you're doing this shit.
But maybe she was doing this and looking guilty because maybe she just farted.
Without her mask, then even worse.
No, I think she's gonna. Cause I can foresee myself because obviously for getting COVID is obviously cases of just a common cold and all that dropped dramatically. So, I don't see that if I'm going somewhere, like a Target or a Walmart or something. Fuck it, just throw my mask on. I don't care. I don't want to get your germs.
No.
You know what I mean?
I have a feeling, masks will be continue to be a thing on your airplane trips, and you should probably do it on the subway, regardless. Now, like
when I took that trip to Aruba, sitting on that plane for 5 hours wearing my mask, that was very uncomfortable. I don't know how doctors and nurses do that shit. Like, my ears felt like they were bleeding. They wasn't though. That was very over the top.
I go with the gator. My ears are sensitive like that too. So I just go with the gator. Just wraps around the face, and occasionally it just slides down this nose. And just pull it back up. It's fine.
Way to go. Or just put a hazmat suit on.
Or you could put a hazmat suit on. But I feel like that'd be bulky and just really, really more uncomfortable. Doesn't mean it's not around the corner though.
Being that guy that's the unlucky guy that's you're sitting there on the plane with an empty chair next to you, and then some guy with a fucking giant hazmat suit sits next to you, and takes your armrest as well, probably.
Yeah. Oof.
Bastard. Do you know what I did over the weekend though?
You've been watching a lot of football.
Been watching a hell of a lot of football.
Yeah, how's that been going?
It's fun. It's so
Good.
much fun because they have Euro 2020 going on at the same time as Copa America, which is the South American version. And so on Saturday and Sunday, there was literally back to back games from 9 a.m. until I think the last game finished at 10 p.m. It was Ooh, baby. I was in heaven. But
Did
then,
each one get better than the one preceding it, or at some point just like your butt getting numb? You're like,
No.
I need a break. I can't. Sorry, Copenhagen. I'll see you next year. I can't do this year.
I will be honest. When it got to, I remember I think it was Saturday. I can't remember what game it was now, but it was game 5 of the day, and yeah, it's like my brain was just like, I'm starting to lose interest in this sport now. I need to watch something else.
Just a little something to cleanse the palate, just
Yeah.
shuffle some stuff around, Yeah. I
ended up watching. Is it Lupin, the French
Lupin
show on Netflix? Yeah, I binge.
Is that the live action one?
Yeah, but they've just released season 2, so I'm catching up on season 1. So I binge watched the first. I think there's only 5 episodes on season 1. I think I watched the first 4, so I've got to watch the final one, and then I'm gonna get deep into the second season. But on Saturday this is really fun. Like I'm getting old and I don't want to party, but we went to a local brewery. Shout out to Elementary.
Cool.
Took the dogs, just chilled outside with the dogs, drinking craft beer. It was very nice.
They got a big patio set up in the back, or
I wouldn't say it's like it's big. I wouldn't say it's like big, but it's enough to fit.
Big enough to bring the dogs too, right?
Big enough to bring the dogs, and
okay, cool.
And it was like everyone was friendly. All the staff were coming out, and like what was really key. So this is a thing. So I don't know. This is a big thing for dog owners. It's a big thing. Lean in right now.
Down.
So every single person who came up to us did the correct etiquette, and they did that. They asked the question: "Oh, is it okay if I pet your dog?"
Yeah, that seems fair.
Of course. The amount of people though who just not in this situation because everyone's good, who just walk up and just think, "Oh, this is a public dog," and just start talking to my dog and what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck away!
Oh, wow!
Don't touch my dog with your dirty hands. I don't know where they've been. I don't know.
Did they go away, or like just? It doesn't sound like you got to finish any of your conversation happening during any of this.
No, I don't touch my dog.
That's fair.
It's like you wouldn't do that with anything else. Like if you started walking up and just playing with someone's car or some shit. I don't know. You play with a car. That was a bad example, maybe, but you know what I mean. Just
I agree.
go away. Don't touch my.
It's very, it's maybe second or third to just like rubbing a baby's head for luck without asking. Like who?
There you go.
People
That's
do
a
that.
great example. Just walking
It's weird,
up
but it
to me,
happens.
If I'm holding a baby and just start walking up and talking to my baby and like squeezing its cheeks, like what the hello? Who are you? Fucking hell. People.
How often are you holding babies though?
Very rarely.
Okay.
Very rarely.
Okay.
Like I'll do if I go to my friends who have babies, I'll like do the courteous thing of like, "Hey, how are you, baby?" And then that's it. I'm like, that's your problem.
Do any of
You
your
made
friends
that.
try to impose diaper duty on you?
No, they know better.
Okay, yeah. I've unfortunately been in the same boat too.
If I was gonna change it, they know it would be like a very shoddy, quick wrap around, maybe some duct tape to keep it on. Like no, it wouldn't happen. But yeah, no, keep the babies away from me. That was your life choice, not mine. But there you go. Speaking of life choices, I mean, now we've talked about this. Let's go back to what we was talking about. Movie Pass. Movie Pass.
The gimmick that was too good to be true.
Well, for those that don't, so I know what it is, but I never used it. But maybe there's people listening or watching. Hello, that don't know what Movie Pass is, because obviously we have listeners all over the world. Just do a quick summarization of what Movie Pass was advertised as, not what it ended up being, but what was it advertised as?
Well, so Movie Pass has been around for about 4 or 5 years prior to its demise, pre-COVID-19 times. And what it did was Like, we're going to send you this credit card, and for a monthly subscription or annual subscription, you can go see one movie per day, one 2D movie per day. Okay, every day for the month or the year or whatever the amount of time your subscription was. And for a while, they were charging like $40 or something, and that's a little too rich for my blood, especially something that's unproven. But it had its fan base. Finally, something happened where they went, "Fuck it, $10 a month, no problem." And I want to say Kush and Kai started covering it at that point. Kai even dared me at one point. He's like, "Yo, man, I will pay for your membership." That never happened, but I finally went like, "Okay, yeah, let's do this. $10 a month." I think I even waited. It went down to like $6.99, dude. Like, shit. I finally like, okay, yeah, $70, $70 for a full year subscription. I'll try it. Like, what have I got to lose? $70. The card came. I had to download an app, activate it through that, and then a half hour prior to the showtime of the movie you wanted to see, you would go, "I'm going to go see Murder on the Orient Express at this theater in West Portal, but you have to be within like a half mile of that theater." Mm-hmm. Once the app says everything is confirmed, money has been transferred to the credit card they gave you, you then give that to the box office, and just like that, you're now watching the new Murder on the Orient Express movie. And I got my money back within 13 visits.
Wait,
I ended up
13
seeing
visits?
13 visits. I got my money. It paid for itself after 13 visits, and because it was me, I did that shit in under 3 weeks.
Wait. Let me quickly, before we move on, let me do the maths on this. So you paid $70 for the year, correct?
That is correct.
And you're saying you got your money back after 13 visits to the cinema.
Got my money's worth. Let's say it correctly, because I botched that.
Oh, that's different.
I botched that.
I was going to say, it's like $5 a ticket. That's ridiculousness.
No, man, it was wild.
I don't know what movie theaters are like by you, but by us, it's like that almost like $20 a ticket.
Well, it doesn't matter what I paid MoviePass. MoviePass is still paying that theater the full price. So if a ticket was $15, it didn't cost me anything because I've already paid my subscription. But MoviePass would end up having to give the Empire Theater $15, and that shit was crazy.
What could go wrong?
A lot, apparently. Let's see, MoviePass. So I kept all my data here. Let's see. So like Murder on the Orient Express only cost MoviePass $8. I went to go see The Disaster Artist. That only cost MoviePass $7.79. Thor 3, $10. I went to the Alamo Drafthouse. I saw Frankenhooker. I ended up seeing the original Justice League. Went to go see Lethal Weapon. 3 billboards. Like I did all this shit. And by the time I finally got to the Thousand Faces of Dunjia, which is a Chinese martial arts film,
classic,
I got my money's worth. That was it.
Right.
Like, we were at zero as far as I was concerned. All right. We would end up going on to see 85 movies.
Jesus.
In between December 2nd, 2017 and August 21st, 2018. And by September, MoviePass would be dead.
You killed it.
Apparently so.
You got blood in
But
your hands.
I didn't do anything other than what they advertised. One movie per day.
So you went
one movie within 24 hours.
So how many movies did you see in total? 80 what?
82 just through MoviePass.
82 movies, and let's just be generous.
Excuse me, 85.
85. And let's be generous. So based on the figures you were talking about, let's just be generous.
I charged MoviePass $1,031.28 in movie tickets.
$1,031, and you paid $70.
$70. Mm-hmm.
So just on you alone, MoviePass was like what, $970 in the hole.
In the red. Yes. Yes. That wasn't just me.
So-
it was a bunch of other people too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. So their whole business plan was basically to hope that someone would pay $70 and maybe go to one movie and forget about it, and they would make mad profit.
That was one of their hopes. Another hope was they were hoping to get ad revenue in on their app. They were hoping movie studios would pay them to plug movies. So this is where we start getting into all the crooked shit. At one point, they tried to blackmail the theaters, saying like, "Hey, we want a cut of your revenue. You're getting all this business now because of us. So you should give us a cut of your concessions." And they all went, "Fuck you," and that didn't happen. And then the Jennifer Lawrence movie Red Sparrow came out. That same weekend, Bruce Willis's Death Wish remake would also come out. And because Death Wish paid MoviePass like $100, whatever, who knows, they advertised Death Wish, and then they would start disappearing showtimes for Red Sparrow. Like, oh, you can't access that. When they weren't doing that crazy crooked shit, people would start reporting on like Facebook forums like, "Yo, MoviePass just locked me out of the app. They changed my password. I'm trying to call customer service. I've been getting nothing. I've called the 800 number. It's disconnected. I'm trying to go through Facebook. They're ignoring me. I'm trying to go through Twitter. Not a word. I'm getting automated feeds telling me to go to the 800 number and the Facebook group." So they were just falling apart real quickly, just doing wild, shady shit. I did a thing where I refused to update my app for the longest time. So as people are like making these complaints, I'm like, I got no problem here, man. I'm seeing this movie. I'm seeing that movie. Like, everything is great.
Because didn't one point they add like a ticket verification? Like within a certain time, you had to upload a photo of the ticket or something. And if you didn't, they would block your account or something.
They might suspend it. They might block it. They would make it very difficult for you to get another ticket. They probably would just lock you out of your password again. Yeah, it wasn't until they finally forced me to do an update that's when I started getting the ticket verification notices as well. And it's like, you better get that paper ticket. You better get some proper light. You better make sure all the information is there and then upload it to their app. Otherwise, they just fuck with you. They're just giving you every reason to fail. In the New York Times article, they mentioned that people were harassed and locked out just going to like 3 movies a month, not even 3 movies a week, 3 movies a month.
So hey, go to a movie every day as long as that's only 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then again, like they would start saying you can only see this movie today, and you can only see that movie tomorrow. Like all of a sudden, the thing that was sky's the limit, all of a sudden had a solid roof over it. Like you may not pass any further.
So you're basically forced to watch. If you want to go to the movies today, you have to watch this movie.
If you want to use our app, absolutely. Yeah. Let's see. I was doing a seasonal gig that I call the Phantom Zone. So for like 3 weeks in August, I was gone. I had no problems. Again, I kept ducking most of these problems that everyone were complaining about, but they were real things. But finally, by the end of August, they fell on their sword, and they offered everybody who did the annual thing, the $70. We didn't make the full year. We're going to pay you back a difference. So I ended up getting like $30 back.
That's insane.
And then by that time, AMC had already started doing their movie subscription program. The movie AMC movie, is it just Movie Pass? Whatever. AMC has their thing. Regal now does a thing. Alamo Drafthouse started doing their thing. There was a lot of very, very cool stuff that came out of this, but MoviePass is apparently a bunch of crooks. And now, after this investigation by the Federal Trade Commission, there's going to be a trial, and I can't see them paying a fine. They're broke, so there's going to be jail time.
Well, I'm sure I saw when I googled. I'm sure they not accept the charges.
I don't even know if charges have been brought on them yet.
Wait, I'm sure I looked at it. FTC movie pass.
Well, even if there are charges, there still has to be a trial for those charges. Like that definitely hasn't happened yet.
Well, so this article on ftc.gov, dated June 7th,
Weird.
is headline: Operators of MoviePass subscription service agree to settle FTC allegations that they limited blah 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 blah. And I don't know exactly how many charges was brought up against them, but I'm sure it said something like each violation is going to have a fine of $43,792. Or no, $43,792 each. But yeah, like you said, I don't know what they're going to pay it with, because
they're broke.
I mean, they're already 1,000 down just by you. But do you feel guilty? Do you?
Nope. Not at all.
I don't. I love the idea of MoviePass, but it just seems like so unnecessary. Like I think.
Well, for me, I review movies, and I like movies.
But I'm saying is what they could have done is to save way more money and still had something. What's the word? I guess inviting and like blah blah blah. Is just have something simple like, hey, if you buy 3 movie tickets through us, we'll give you your next movies on us, sort of thing. Like, just hey, buy 3, get 1. That's still a good deal. Like,
well, so I mean, the movie chains all now have their own subscription program. So AMC, because we're in San Francisco, it's $23 a month, and I can see any 3 movies I want a week. Okay, so if you go to see an IMAX movie, like you've already paid for the month on that one right there.
Right.
But you can see 3 movies. You can see the IMAX, you can see the Dolby, 3D, 2D. AMC doesn't do a 4D, but I'm sure if they did, you'd be able to see stuff. No Fathom events. That's a whole other thing. The Regal subscription that I have for the theater now down the street, the new Regal, it's very similar to MoviePass. Again, we're in San Francisco, so it's $23 a month. But I can see as many movies as I want within an hour and a half of each other per day, every day. They have surcharges, so it's 50 cents per ticket. So you're still getting charged an additional 50 cents. But then, like, I'm going to see Black Widow in July, and I'm going to see it in their 4DX theater, which is supposed to be like just the seat shakes and someone sprays mist in your face. It's supposed to be a whole experience, and that was an extra $6. So different people have figured out ways to balance it out, and then of course the goal is buy as much popcorn as you can. But that's on you.
I mean, we'll talk about that closer to the time when you actually see the movie. But Black Widow is probably because that's the part of the Marvel universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's a Scarlett Johansson movie.
That's the only Marvel movie that's where I'm kind of like,
I agree.
I don't care. I don't really care about it.
I want to try the 4DX, and I think that's going to be a good ride. Fast and Furious 9 comes out in less than 10 days, Mike. I don't know if you're excited for the family reunion like I am, but I might do the 4DX as well.
John Cena's Vin Diesel's brother. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't care about that shit.
But
we're all family, Mike. We're all family.
If you go back far enough, we're all related to Adam and Eve or something. I don't know.
Or something like that.
I didn't finish the book. So yeah, R.I.P. So MoviePass officially dead. R.I.P.
MoviePass is officially dead. They would like to come back. There was whispers before this investigation thing where they're like, "We might be back." They're not coming back.
They ain't coming back. I don't, unless they do. It's like we need to pay our bills. So hey, new MoviePass is now $2,000 a month.
Yikes! Well, the guy who was in charge of it, he's like responsible for he had a hand in Netflix at one point in time. So that's why like everyone was like, this guy's going to succeed. Yeah, this business plan is crazy, but so is net DVDs mailed to you. Come on, bro. Like that was crazy. So it's we'll see what happens.
Wow.
I think this is not the last time I'll be talking about Movie Pass.
I thought you was going to say
Be it on
like,
Waffle Box or Kush and Kai or et cetera, et cetera.
I thought he was going to say like the guy behind Movie Pass also had a hand in like Fire Festival or something.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to sponsor something. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually gave them money. Like that's a whole other thing, though.
Whole nother thing. All right, next topic, waffling. Next topic is so I have noticed through scouring the internet as I do while I'm working. I've realized that there seems to be a lot of world records being broken recently, which is exciting.
It is.
I mean, before I kind of list off some of the ones I found, was you ever a big fan? Because we had a TV show in England back in the day when I was young, when I was a wee child. It's called Record Breakers.
Okay.
And they would have people come on each week to try to break a Guinness World Record. Did you ever have anything similar to that in the old US of A?
We had several sideshows on television, like That's Incredible. Ripley's, believe it or not, was more of a magazine thing, so they didn't do too many live spectacles. Evil Knievel, is that a name you know?
Of course.
He was a motorcycle daredevil rider. He was always attempting some big record. Whether he failed or succeeded, it didn't matter. He almost always ended up in traction. Well, it's amazing the guy never killed himself in a stunt. It's pretty crazy. So, but we had stuff like that, but nothing official. Well, the object of every show was to break some world record. Nothing like that.
Well, so obviously, once you've broken a world record and your name is now in the Guinness Book of Records, you know you're a man of legend or a woman of legend.
You're a
So I
moving
can
target.
appreciate, you're in the history books. So I can see why people would want to do it, but it's becoming now extreme because even when I was like so young, so like early 90s, it was the fastest person to pull a truck 20 meters. It was like it was getting a little bit stupid. But then now it seems to be that people are just literally finding things. Okay, what can I do to say that I am the world record holder for this? So in the last 7 days, these records have been broken. Okay, so first one in China, a woman broke the world record for having the longest eyelashes.
Wow,
8 inches. Her eyelashes.
8 inches. Get that. Like
No, that one I'm not sure. Like I'm pretty sure there was not much effort put into that because I don't know how you can actively make your eyelashes grow. That'd seem to be a thing. They either grow or they don't. I don't know how that worked.
I've never had to trim my eyelashes back, thankfully.
No.
Seems like it would be a terrible process. Lots of room for failure there.
Yes, yeah. Scissors near the eyes. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? As Uncle Blinky used to say.
I always thought he was a pirate. A Swiss in Switzerland, a Swiss man, played 252 holes of golf in 12 hours.
Are you hearing that in the background?
Yeah, is that a ghost?
It's my neighbor's kids.
Oh, fucking kids! Go
Go
punch one. That'll stop them.
That would be the dream. But yeah,
Nothing
normally
stops a child
when
with
they
a
are
punch
that
in the
loud, children are just little adults.
Got to learn a lesson one day. So anyway, did after that rude interruption, did you hear the golf record?
No, what's the golf record? I don't follow much golf as it is, but
no, neither do I. But a person in Switzerland played 252 holes of golf in 12 hours.
12 hours.
Like, that's, do the maths. 252 divided by 12. That's 21 holes an hour.
And how many holes are on the course, do we know? Like, is it standard 18, 9?
I imagine so. Yeah, I imagine.
Okay.
So.
You're literally just doing lap after lap. Fuck.
So at least there's fitness involved in that. But
there's definitely fitness involved. There's probably not many attendants still because of COVID. So like, you wouldn't have to worry about playing through too much. Maybe? I don't follow the sport.
No. In Norway, a man... So do you know what dead hanging means?
No.
So let's say you have a pipe.
Okay.
And you just hold on to it.
Mm-hmm.
And you just do this. But obviously you're not standing on anything. So you're literally like hanging. Like doing this.
Yeah, no, I'm hanging. I'm hanging on the frame here, babe.
This is a very visual part of the podcast, so I apologize for those listening. But it's... So this guy just hung there for 16 minutes and 3 seconds. Broke the world record.
Only 16 minutes, wow. I mean, again, you're losing blood in your arms and circulation at that point.
I imagine his arms were in agony at the end of it. But again, why? Why did you do that? Like,
it's very... You'd have to wonder what the motive is. Like, did he accidentally bump into the guy who had the record prior? And he's like, fuck that guy, that's my neighbor. The dude's always leaving trash on my fucking lawn. Like, I'm gonna dead hang here for 16 minutes now. You watch me. I'll do that shit.
This is one of my favorites. Wake surfing. Is it not wave surfing? Like where you
wave surfing. Okay.
Where you get dragged around by a boat. I guess. So a woman, I believe it's a woman in Indiana, broke the world record because she did that for 8 straight hours.
That's a lot of gasoline in your boat.
I know, it's to protect the planet.
Yeah,
right.
I
can think of the planet. Jesus. But the thing, so the previous record was only 2 hours and 18 minutes, but I guess she wanted to, okay, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do this right. But she had to stop because the judge who was judging the world record had to leave. She had other plans.
So that's a thing I've heard about the Guinness Book of World Records. Like, it doesn't matter what record you're trying to break. You still have to contact them. They have to be interested in it. And then you have to fly them out there and put them up in a hotel, depending on, like, if you're not just in Belfast, Ireland, or wherever. Yeah, no, you have to. And then you still have to break the record.
So let me get this straight. Okay, let me just... This is the last one I have. So a guy in Idaho, no offense to Idaho, but I'm guessing there's not much to do there. This guy broke the world record for most behind-the-back flying disc catches in a minute.
Okay.
Like, so this guy, knowing that new information I have, this guy decided that he was so good at catching a frisbee, basically, behind his back, that he thought, one, I could probably do the most of these anyone has ever done in the world. And two, to want to prove it, he contacted the Guinness Book of World Records and then paid someone to watch him do it.
And then he had to do it. But again, yeah, he had to put him up for in their hotel. He probably had to feed him. He's in Idaho, so yeah, they're coming out of Ireland. Where is the Guinness Book of World Records located?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just being stereotypical. Maybe because it's Guinness. Maybe I'm
assuming
it's in Ireland, but I don't know.
Didn't the Guinness Book of World Records start as a way of just like settling pub fights in Ireland? That was the story I've heard.
GuinnessWorldRecords.com about us. We are Guinness. Well, the registered office is in London.
Okay, so but still Europe. Like that's not a cheap plane ticket to Idaho. By the way, there are connecting flights involved. There is no direct flights from Idaho to London and vice versa. Like there's a drive involved. Like
the About Us section on the website is hilarious. Like this is I don't know. This is so upper class bullshit. Like the idea came about in the early 1950s when Sir Hugh Beaver, managing director of the Guinness Brewery, attended a shooting party in County Wexford. Fucking hell. That is one of the most like snobbish sentences that has ever been written. When Sir Hugh Beaver, his name was.
Hugh Beaver. Oh, you gotta love the name. But yeah, like, where do the guys come up with the idea of, like, in order to break the record, there had to have been a record already set, and like, who came up with that shit? And then how did this guy go find out? Like, yeah, I can catch that disc behind my head, no problem. So when I'm at my day job, you know, it's a lot of coiling cables and whatever. Like, and if you're into it, you're into it. But like, I get obsessed. So all I can do now is just as a reflex. I'm just coiling cables all day. But you know what, Mike? There's an actual competition in Japan for people in my profession who do this. Okay, and there are records to be broken. And I wish to God I could have gone to it this year. I don't know how to even register, but that would be a crazy feat. Kush Hayes in Japan also? Hell yeah.
But how obscure can you get if you're like, say like, I hold the Guinness World Record for most beers drunk in an hour by a person named Michael living at my address. Crushed it. It's ridiculous.
I smoked weed for 3 hours with one sock on.
Most marijuana consumed whilst wearing one sock.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Let's get it going. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's work out how much it costs. I'm not going to do it now because I'm probably going to take a while. But before next show, I'm going to work out how much it costs to get the Guinness Book of World Records involved, and Waffle Box will break a record. It'll be stupid though. Like
come on, yeah.
Most cups of tea drank whilst hopping on one leg.
I'm going to do sitting in a chair with my feet up, watching endless loop after loop of The Greatest Showman.
I once watched 24 episodes of the show 24 back to back. That should get me something.
I don't think you're the only one who's done that though. Like,
but maybe I did it fastest.
Ooh. See, that would be something.
Did you ever used to play the 24 game? 24 commercial game?
No.
So before the show went to commercial, it flashed up the clock, right? Boop,
okay.
Boop. Boop. You remember that?
Yes,
so me and my buddies would play a game where you'd have to try to guess what the time was when the show returned from commercial.
Okay, that's fun.
And then we'd fast forward the commercials, and I don't think there was a prize. But after 24 episodes, we didn't care about the game anymore. We gave up.
I liked the premise.
Oh, what time is it going to be? I don't give a shit. Just get on with it. I just want to finish this fucking show.
Jack Bauer just witnessed Las Vegas exploding. On a parachute. I can't focus.
I'm not emotionally ready for this right now.
I tried to watch 24 and I couldn't get past the 4th episode. I was just like, like his wife and his kid just got abducted. Like, I'm out. I can't handle it. But then we always had the Between the Ropes pro wrestling radio show / podcast. They would always do a 24 update. So I was always able to keep up with the storyline for that. Like, I remember them just going like, Tony died. And like, we were all a little sad that day that Tony died. But then a year later, like, Tony's back. And you're like, what the fuck? Tony's back. I don't even know who that is, but I was just like, yo, Tony can't be back. What the fuck?
Ridiculousness. But talking about, killing people and blowing shit up, Ryan Reynolds is in a new movie in a sequel to The Hitman's Bodyguard, which is now named The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Mm-hmm. As much before we get into your your review. As much I am a huge Ryan Reynolds fan, but
he's a funny dude. He's a good actor.
Can you confirm or deny whether this is Ryan Reynolds starring as Ryan Reynolds in a movie?
Confirm, 100% confirm.
I guess he knows what he's good at.
Yeah, he's and the people like it. They eat it up. So I saw a sneak preview of the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard or Hitman's Bodyguard 2. Did you saw the first one? I imagine.
I did, yes.
What'd you think of it?
I thought it was good. It's fun.
Okay.
Samuel. He's at a point in his career where he knows what he needs to do and he knows how to get the jobs. He's slowly becoming what's the word? Almost like a stereotype of himself.
He passed that decades ago. He passed
but
that over a decade ago.
But the cool thing, like I think, similar, I guess, to Ryan Reynolds, is that he knows it, he owns it, and runs with it. So
might as well. Why not?
I enjoy his movies, and so when they came together, I was like, oh, this would be good, and I thought it was very good. So, how was this? Was the sequel? Did it go off in a different direction, or was it same old, same old?
The nicest thing I can say about Hitman's Bodyguard 2 is that it's 20 minutes shorter, and if you like the first one, you'll most likely enjoy this one. I did not appreciate the first one at all. It's Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds. It's Sam Jackson saying motherfucker. It's lots of violence and explosion and gore that doesn't faze me one way or the other. Like, it's not the best stunts in the world or anything, but they're on location. So Hitman 1 made me miss Holland, and it made me miss Amsterdam, Mike, but I couldn't give a shit about the rest of the movie. It looked like they had a fantastic paid vacation, and that's more of the same in this one. But again, they knew better to like trim 20 minutes from this one. This one's an hour 40, whereas the last one was 2 hours. So I applaud them big on that one. My biggest problem with this, it's a cartoon. It's not very funny, at least not to me, but people are going to enjoy it. But the character, he knows politicians, and he has to know like international treaties, and he has to know tech on weapons and gadgets and this and that. The other, the guy knows more than you, your wife, and 7 of your neighbors combined. But then he's a boob at the same time. He falls for the simplest things. He starts off the movie in therapy, but the therapist has literally just heard him explain all these horrific acts he's committed. So she immediately pushes him out of the room and is like, "Oh, you've already graduated. I suggest you go on a sabbatical, go on vacation, no guns, just get the fuck out of my office." And he's like, "I graduated therapy. All right, looking forward to Aruba." Yeah, it's dumb stuff like that.
Hilarity ensues.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is still funny. But then they try and evoke against types, and Morgan Freeman's in it. And there are times where he's just being brutally mean. Selma Hayek is in it way more than she was in the first one. And she says a lot of raunchy shit that I would like her to hear, but because it's done in the comedic tone, it just...
You would like her to hear, or you'd like to hear her say?
Oh, I'd like to hear her say all that shit in a different tone.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's an against type for her. Or at least I think so. So, the Hitman's Bodyguard's Wife. Fantastic locations. Looks like everyone had a good time. If you like the first one, there's no reason why you shouldn't like the second one. Seems like a very fun paid vacation. Sam Jackson drops a bunch of F-bombs. Murder, gore, violence. That's it in a nutshell. The first one made 8 times its budget back worldwide. I expect this one to do no different.
So how many out of 5?
2 out of 5.
Oh,
2 out of 5. But that's me, man. Like I think you'll like it. You'll crack open a couple beers and you'll just laugh your butt off. Again, Ryan Reynolds is super silly. You like hearing Sam Jackson say motherfucker. Salma Hayek looks fantastic and then says a bunch of raunchy shit. I mean,
is this one of those movies that is also available on streaming services, or is this purely movie theaters right now?
I'm gonna just say movie theaters. I wouldn't be surprised though if you could rent this for $25 through iTunes or whatever. Like that is a business model now. But
I'm definitely into seeing this movie, but yeah, I'm like,
I would say wait for Netflix.
Yeah.
The last one I saw at my cousin's house, I felt fine about it then. Again, this one I have to review movies. I had to go see it in the theater.
30% on Rotten Tomatoes.
All right. Is that the critics or the audience?
Let me have a look. Well, the audience score is 100%, but it does say fewer than 50 verified ratings. So if I'm gonna guess, I'm guessing there's like maybe one person.
Yeah, I mean, good for Ryan Reynolds. That dude's a funny guy. He's a very nice dude. He's a fantastic entrepreneur and philanthropist. He knows business. So he knows what people want from him. Go get your money, Ryan Reynolds. I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, 'cause he's now owns a football club.
I have not been excited about Free Guy whatsoever, though. It's the Lego movie.
Yeah,
plus,
I'd be down
plus
to
Ready
see it.
Player One minus all the intellectual property.
Yeah, because he plays a non-playable
game
character in a video game that
becomes
then
self-aware.
becomes aware. I'd be interested in seeing it. I did like him in Detective Pikachu.
He was great in Detective Pikachu, but yeah, that was just voiceover work, and that's again Pikachu being Ryan Reynolds, so it works. Yeah,
That's a good movie.
was fun.
Deadpool 3 apparently is in early stages production.
Marvel would honestly be fools if they didn't try and do a Deadpool 3 with their boy Ryan Reynolds. They would be leaving money on the table not doing that.
Or even like an X-Force movie with Domino and...
Oh yeah, everyone liked the Zazzy beats from Deadpool 2, so yeah, I'd be into seeing some Domino.
I mean, it's not off topic, it's Ryan Reynolds, but did you love or did you not love the Brad Pitt cameo in that movie?
Oh, that was amazing. Yes,
That-
I sincerely appreciated that. Yeah.
But apparently,
In fact, I actually like Deadpool 2 more than a lot than people like Deadpool 1. Deadpool 1 I was not impressed with. I was like, okay, this is all this, and he's breaking the fourth wall and blah 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 blah. I get why you guys like this, but this isn't anything special. But then you actually got deep with the story in Deadpool 2. You iced the girlfriend in the first 10 minutes. You're just like, you went there on that one.
Yeah, like
I
all the
think they did
moments
a better
where he was
job on
trying to
Deadpool
kill
2.
him, like all the times he was trying to kill himself, but then once he got close to his wife again, she was like, "You're not ready yet," and he got sucked back in, and he was like, "Fuck, I just want to die." Like that was pretty. It was funny, but also quite disturbingly deep. If you know what I mean, it was very good character development in the second movie.
Yeah, I agree. Again, the X-Force cameos are fun. That whole
did you
setup.
hear like the fun story? So Terry Crews obviously was in that. He's part of X-Force, but apparently he takes everything very literal and very serious. And so they were apparently trying to. I don't know if you've heard his story. Maybe you have, but
No, I haven't.
they were trying to obviously keep these cameos like hush hush.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And
Except
so
for they're in the trailer, so I don't understand. But please continue.
Or maybe I don't know, but they were trying to keep it quiet. Like basically, that they were
Dig.
in it, and so he took that so literally that when he would leave his house, like his wife and kids would be like, "Oh, where are you going today?" "Oh, just nothing. Like just working on something." Like he wouldn't even tell his wife and kids. Like he was like, "Oh, yeah, I'll be back." Like just so he wouldn't even tell them what he was working on. He's like he took it that seriously.
Those NDAs are no joke either. Like the at that point, yeah.
Do you think it was like a sign thing? He's rather than a man of his word.
Yeah, I absolutely think they made him sign an NDA, and I think his wife probably is very chatty if he went to that level. And she's just being a proud wife. Like, my husband is in the new Deadpool movie. Can you believe? Like, she's just going to tell one of her girlfriends. One of those girlfriends is going to tell someone that's going to get the TMZ spoiled. Now officially spoiled, and
TMZ.
It will come back to him, and they would sue him for a lot of money. So that's what I'm reading out of all that.
Well, good old Terry. What a guy. What a guy. Anything else? I think we've waffled on quite a lot. I think we've covered all bases this week.
Yeah, I think we gave the audience their money's worth.
Yeah. This isn't movie pass. You're getting your good shit. Okay, so if you enjoyed this, obviously make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, what do the YouTubers always say? Give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down there.
Be sure to like and comment. Also, smash that like button and subscribe.
If you are listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, iHeartRadio, make sure you subscribe. So if you are listening and you want to watch this episode, you can go to our YouTube channel. If you are watching this on YouTube, go and you want to listen to the audio version, go to the audio version. Whatever you do, make sure you go to waffleboxpod.com and just subscribe on everything. Just fuck it. Just do it. And then what you need to do is go to an Apple store and on all the displays, iPhones, go to search for Waffle Box on there and subscribe on them as well. And leave it on the screen just so the next person will do that. What the hell is Waffle Box?
Ooh, Waffle Box.
That.
That looks delightful. Let me just push play. Ooh. Who's that handsome guy with the bandana?
Who's that guy? Who's that guy with the giant head and the broomstick arms? He needs
I'm sure his tattoos
something.
are cool though.
Yeah. This is why I stay skinny, because it's cheaper to get tattoos when you're skinny. Less
ground to cover.
Exactly. I'm not stupid. But yeah, so I am Mr. Mike Fish, literally at Mr. Mike Fish on Twitter. Kush Hayes, Kush_Hayes. If you're interested in some sports, because there is a summer of sports soccer. I don't know why I'm talking like that. You can check out my other podcast, Claret and Big Blue, at cbbpod.com, where we're covering the summer of soccer. Right now, new episodes every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, live on Facebook, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And then audio versions available wherever you listen to podcasts. Kush, have you got any other podcasts coming out in the next 7 days?
Actually, like I said, check out Barely Functioning Gamers on the Twitch TV for my little cameo there. We went 4 hours. Coming out this day, you're actually going to be able to read.
Wait, before we go off the air, what is like a barely... What is it? Barely what?
Barely Functioning Gamers. I feel like I've given out the URL plenty of times. I feel like our audience isn't... I feel like our audience is pretty confident to find it.
So yeah, it's literally twitch.tv/barelyfunctionalgamers.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, they would have figured that out. I trust our audience. You guys are smart. Outstanding. On this day, on Wednesday, you can actually read my review, my 2-star review of The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. But you can also check out Kush and Kai 56. We bring in Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer Jameel Hemphill from Sweet Science Cinema, and we talk about the movie Limitless with Bradley Cooper and Robert De Niro. Otherwise, the Kick-Ass Movie Podcast, you're gonna hear us, me and director Len Kabazinski, talk about Jeff Speakman's The Perfect Weapon. That'll be on the 28th or whatever the last Wednesday of June is. That's all I got.
That doesn't make sense. 20th is in 5
days. 28th. Like 28th.
Oh, well, that's you could have promoted that next week.
Okay, well,
now
we'll figure this out because I'll have a lot to promote. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, make sure it's properly promoted. Oh,
callback.
Inside joke. Yes. So is this the only video podcast you do?
Yes.
Bringing you out your shell.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
You're like a beautiful flower.
Mold me, Mike Fish. Paint me like one of your French women.
See, if you're listening to this, this is like, what the fuck are they talking about? But if you're watching this, you're seeing I'm doing jazz hands right now.
And I am posing.
So you need to go to YouTube and look at Waffle Box. Jazz hands. You're missing out.
Waffle Box Pod.
WaffleboxPod.com. All right, let's wrap this up. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I don't know what you're doing, but make sure you like, follow, and subscribe wherever you do this stuff. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your co-workers, tell your dog, tell your cats. Make sure you go to the Apple Store and subscribe on all of those devices. Take a picture. Take a picture. If you take a picture of you actually doing that and tag Wafflebox Pod, I'll send you a shirt, a Wafflebox t-shirt. Do it.
An actual Waffle Box t-shirt, not just a t-shirt out of your closet.
Yeah. An actual
I think you should give these folks
Waffle
a shirt
Box.
off your back, Mike Fish.
So this 7-Up t-shirt could be yours.
Why not?
If you go to Apple Store, subscribe their phones to Waffle Box and take a picture, I will send you a t-shirt. There you go. That's your challenge. That's your homework for the next 7 days. Go do it.
It's a good challenge.
Till then. See you later. Bye, Kush.
Goodbye, Mike.